on the screen and think about it for at least 1 minute. Tell me and I forget, show me and I remember, involve me and I understand. Is this what you are currently doing in your classrooms? Are we involving our students in their learning process? Or they're just receptive listeners sitting like bench warmers all the time in the classroom? Think about that. If the answer is yes, we want to propose something different that you can start carrying out in your classrooms. Okay? It is something that is being on the way for long. It is project-based instruction, PBI. Okay? And that's what our topic is about today in this demonstration. When I'm going to tell you all the things about project-based learning and project-based instruction. Okay? We're just going to give you the background and we're going to outline it. But our interest is just to show you, okay, what the students can actually produce in class. You're going to be amazed, okay, when we show you what they can produce in class. Alright? Okay, so this is project-based classroom. It's a way to enhance students' language skills. It's not only the speaking, because sometimes we as teachers are more worried about the students speaking in the classroom. Okay? And we neglect the other language skills. What about listening? What about reading? What about writing? Okay? We should integrate all of them in one. And project-based is an excellent way to actually do it. So what is PDL?
As you can read in this definition, PBS is project-based language instruction is a flexible methodology allowing multiple skills to be developed and integrated in meaningful ongoing activity. Project-based instruction, also referred to as project-based learning or PBL, that's the way we're going to be going during the presentation, has been defined differently by various authors. That perhaps as its simplest, it is an instructional approach that contextualizes learning by presenting learners with problems to solve or products to develop. We want to make emphasis that here in our presentation, since we are in an intensive program, the product that you're going to see were made in an intensive program. We both work for Centro Colombo Americano and we only have 19 days per period. So we are going to make emphasis on the second one, products to develop. Okay?
Okay, problems to solve is more related towards those teachers who are actually working in bilingual institutions, like schools, alright? That you have to integrate content objectives and language objectives. For us, it's only language objectives. We don't have content, because we don't teach content, we don't teach social studies, we don't teach science, we don't teach math. We just teach English for communication purposes. Okay? That's why we're just emphasizing on products to develop.
However, it doesn't mean that we don't have a cross curriculum since we have to talk about different topics. Okay?
Alright. Let's go with the objectives. Okay. PBA is aimed to enhance language skills. Okay? Sometimes as teachers we don't have time to actually check what the students were supposed to learn or were supposed to master in a unit. Okay? And we sometimes believe, well, maybe the written test is going to tell me this, or maybe the oral exam is going to tell me that, but what about the other two language skills? Why are you neglecting them? You're not supposed to do that. Okay? So projects are going to tell you exactly where they are, and you can integrate all the language skills in just one. And you can actually check whether the students' language skills are enhancing or not.
Okay? This is our rationale. I want you to read that. Can you agree?
Yes.
No problem. Okay, constructivism is our root. Okay, we bring constructivism to our classes through meaningful learning, through collaborative work. Okay, that's what we are going to be enhancing in our students the skills, and they are going to work with constructivism approach. Okay.
Okay, be reminded that when we say something about previous knowledge, is that we try to make connections. Okay? We have to make connections. The student have to make connections. If the student sees that the project is not related to his life or to his experiences, guess what? He may not like it. Okay? And what you thought in one night, excellent, this is going to be an excellent idea, my students are going to love it. They won't. You liked it, but they didn't. So you wasted your time. Okay? It has to do something related to their lives, not to your life. Guess what? You already speak English. They are in the process. So, okay? It's not about you, it's about the students. That's why this is student-centered.
Okay, here we have the elements of an authentic project, which are, okay, there are different type of projects. We have service learning project, we have work-based project, and so forth. But all of them, authentic projects, all have in common these defining features. Okay, it's a student-centered and a student-directed.
Okay, the student is the main focus on the project. You are not. Okay? You are not supposed to do the project for your students. Instead, you're going to guide them, but you're not supposed to do it for them. Okay? That's why it's student-centered. You're just going to be like a model, or you're going to be like a person who's going to be guiding the process. But that's it. You don't have to do much. You have to let them do the dirty job. They will do it for you. Okay?
Yes. We are just the source, we are the experts, okay, that they come to for help.
Okay, when we say content meaningful to students, it's related to those content area teachers, social study teachers, science teachers, okay? But this one is not actually related to language institutions like Lengua Americana, because we don't teach content, okay?
Okay, the specific roles related to curriculum, okay, they have to be, you know, there is a path. We have a book, a textbook, and what we do is that we ask them to produce projects that are related to the things they are studying at the moment, with a different way, okay, in a different way, or a different approach that the book is suggesting. Okay, we give them something else, not just the guide or what the guide is suggesting us. We involve them. Okay, we really involve them.
Okay, let's wait till Bob's out. It's on, but I don't know what's happening. Okay, the next in line for the rationale is a tangible product. Okay? And when we ask for the tangible product, we want the students to bring their projects to the classroom, okay? And the teacher is not supposed to keep them all, okay, away from the students, and he says, "Oh, forget it, I'm going to take these projects with me home." He goes out and, hey, we want to see what we did. Okay, so the idea is to actually share the projects with the whole class, so they can see what everybody did. Okay, because they are always going to be like willing and eager to see what they did. Teacher, can we see what such and such did? Or are you going to present mine? Okay? They always believe I did a wonderful job. And I need recognition. Okay? Students always need recognition. They want to be told, look, such and such project was so great. Look at it. The best one in the classroom. Okay? They are going to be looking for that.
Okay, there is connection among academic life and work skills. Okay? They will be doing things that they are going to do in their real life, the target needs. Especially because it's a general course, okay? It's no ESP. We try to give them a little of everything.
Okay, remember the first definition that we gave you about PDL? Academic life and work skills. That's why we have service projects. Okay, those service projects are going to be carried out in the community. Alright? Let's say, for instance, that in your school you're having a social studies class and you're studying what?
Ecology, for example.
The what?
Ecology.
Ecology. And you want to do something, well, let's say the topic is the environment, and you want to do something in regard to the community to make an impact in that community, all right?
And they have to make an impact.
There's too much garbage in this neighborhood. We want to do something, but you can tell your students, okay, your project is going to be teach the people in the community to recycle. Okay, so that is a service project. That's why we have that too on the presentation. Okay. Don't forget when you get all the works from your students to give them feedback. Okay? They need to know exactly how they do it and what part they were probably missing. Okay, just in case next time. So we have to give them all the time feedback about what they're doing or about what they did.
Okay? There is also a peer evaluation and self-evaluation. It's not only the teacher's evaluation. Okay? So that's why we have some self-assessment. And we also have some rubrics. We have some examples that we will show you in a minute.
Okay. You might be wondering, so what's the benefit? What's the catch? Okay, I'm going to start doing this, but what's the catch? The catch isn't for you, it's for your students. Okay? If you are in this business because you want to take all the credit, then you should leave. Because the credits goes towards the students, not the teacher. Okay? So the benefits is for the students, not the teacher. So let's take a look at the different benefits that project-based can actually do in your classroom with your students. Increasing motivation. Alright? Increasing motivation. Sometimes you see one student who is very shy in class, and you haven't found that connection to make him actually work for you in class. And you say, little Johnny is so detached from class, and I don't know what to do so that I can bring it into the classroom. Well, this may be one reason. Okay?
Okay, connecting learning at school with reality. Okay, as I told you before, they have to be doing things that they feel that they are meaningful, relevant for their lives. Okay, and since they are extra class work, they feel that they have to do something out of the class, not only in the class. They feel that it's not only coming to the class and doing exercises in the class and going with the workbook, sometimes boring workbook, and doing the workbook and bringing to class. They see that they have to get together, talk about the class, and design something.
And that's why this is meaningful to students. Meaningful learning is always related to what? Real life, but not your real life, but the students' life. Okay, so this is going to be really meaningful for them. Okay, providing collaborative opportunities to construct knowledge. Sometimes you can assign projects that they are going to be working on individually, all right? But there's also times in which you're going to tell the students, okay, you have to pair up, or you need to have groups of 3, 4, 5 people. And what are they going to do? Work collaboratively. Okay, so this is a good excuse to actually teach your students social skills. Because I know I have students, and when I assign projects, they say, you know what, Mr. Mesa? I don't want to work with little Johnny. He's lazy. He never does his work, and he's always playing around, joking around. Nah, I don't want to be in that group. Guess what? You have to work with little Johnny, because real life is like that. I don't like my boss. But if I don't like my bosses, doesn't mean that I'm not going to work because I don't like them. Whether I like it or not, I have to work. Right? So that's what you're teaching your students. Okay?
Okay, it's using social and communication skills. Since they have to get together, since they have to work together, they have to work on the project, and sometimes they will have to practice. Okay, they will have to do something to practice. They will increase their social and communication skills, as Joseph said.
Okay, increasing self-esteem is just related to what I previously said. Okay? Maybe little Johnny is just too shy, he doesn't want to participate in class, he doesn't want to be involved actively in the classroom. Guess what? That's going to be a good answer. Okay? Because when you see his final product, you say, little Johnny, I can't believe it! Is this yours? Wow, you're going to be like amazed, flabbergasted. Little Johnny, congratulations. That congratulations, little Johnny will never forget. Okay? And that's going to be like a stepping stone in his life. Because from that point on, he's going to start to feel more secure about himself.
His language ego is going to increase.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to tell you what are the steps that we have been following, okay, to implement project-based instruction. Okay, the first thing that we have to do when we are going to design a project-based instruction is that we have to outline the goals. What are the project goals? And the student have to know what they have to produce, what is the final destination, okay, where they have to go. It's very important for that, so we have to be very careful when we outline the project goals.
Okay, I'm going to piggyback from what he said. When you set your goals, remember, there are going to be two different scenarios. Bilingual institutions and language institutions like Roma Americana. If you work for a bilingual institution, you're going to have language objectives. Okay? But if you are in a school that is bilingual, you need to make connections between content objectives and language objectives. They cannot be separated. They are not isolated items. They need to be together. They are to be together. You can leave them behind. Okay? They have to be together, like in a woman.
And I would like to add that it's not only bilingual institutions, also public institutions, public schools, schools in general. Okay?
And then you socialize with your students what the project is about and what they have to do. You just don't come to the classroom and say, today, kids, we're going to do a project on whatever. Here it is, work on it. Due date, 3 weeks. What are we going to do? You have to socialize, you have to tell them exactly what they're going to be doing step by step. Because you're going to be guiding them. Alright?
Here there will be performance specifications. This is what we expect at the end of the day that you're going to produce your project. You will have to present this, you will have to do this. This is what we expect as teachers. Okay? That should be very clear. Okay? We have to assign the groups. You know, there are different ways to assign groups. Sometimes they can choose a group, but it's advisable that they don't do this all the time. We can use different strategies that you already know to assign groups, okay?
Alright. You have to tell them exactly what they're going to do, alright, every week. And then you have to set parameters. Okay, by the end of this week, everyone should at least, okay, by next week, but you have to check. Sometimes teachers don't want to do it because this is extra work and we hate giving out our free time. And remember, this is not about the teacher, it's about the who? Students. There you go. Forget about your time. It's not your time anymore. It's like when you get married. You think it's going to be your time, it's going to be your family's time. You are going to neglect yourself. As teachers, we have to do the same. Alright?
Okay, there is a teacher consultation, input, feedback. Since now we are in technology era, there are different ways to communicate with our students. It's not only coming to class and talking to them. We have Google Documents, we have different types of chat, we have Facebook. You can create a group in Facebook, which they love when you create a group in Facebook, just to talk about the project, to know how you're doing with the project, if you have a question, okay? It's something that is also, this process is very important.
Students need to know how you're going to keep in touch with them. Okay? Because maybe if you see them like twice a week, what about the other 3 days that I'm going to see you? They need to know how to get in touch with you. Alright? And you have to tell them, okay, if you have any questions, this is my cell phone number, or this is my email, drop me a line, whatever. Okay? But they have to talk to you all the time. Okay, and the final project, as we suggested before, it should be, okay, shared with the whole class. Don't take the projects and then walk home. I got all the projects and the project master. No, you have to share the projects with everybody in the classroom. They have to see what they have produced.
Remember that we have teachers evaluation, peers evaluation, and self-evaluation. So the other students have to see that. Okay, here you have it. Teacher and peers assessment. So that's why you have to share, and they have to be shown and give their opinions.
Yeah.
Okay, but how can they do this? Okay, because it's not just coming to class and say, I like it. No, I don't like it. I think it's horrible. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, it's not like that. We have to guide them also to give an assessment. So what we usually do here is we talk to them and we tell them that it's process-based and project-based. And that this is a combination of everything. That assessment has to be a combination of everything. So it's process-oriented. How? By rubrics. Okay? We designed some rubrics. We're going to show you some examples.
Teachers, be reminded, you cannot be subjective when you're grading or assessing your students. You may get in trouble. My work was better than his, so how come he's got a better grade than me? Impossible! No way! Wash your hands and create a rubric. Because you're going to assess the process and the product at the same time. Both at the same time. So make sure you're going to design a rubric. No rubric, tons of problems and situations and issues you're going to have. Okay, so avoid the problems. Work on your rubrics. Okay? And the rubric has to be a reflection, a good reflection. Okay? From the goals you set at the beginning. They cannot be two different things. Okay? I can say this is white, and then when I turn my back, I say it's really black. How can I say?
And they have to know it beforehand. It's not that we're going to give them the rubric at the end. No, beforehand. Okay?
Okay, and you have to tell them exactly what is it you're going to grade. Okay? Here, for instance, we have some categories they have to meet. If they don't meet those categories, guess what? You're going to start adding up or the opposite. Okay? So you're not going to be, oh teacher, you were mean. You graded me like this, you were mean.
Why, teacher? I don't know why. You gave me a 3, but why a 3? Okay, so you can explain it. Remember, I said you probably can change vocabulary, but it lacks this and this, okay?
Yeah,
that's a better way to...
An excellent way to just wash your hands and say, it's not my fault.
Okay, now we're going to show you what we have been doing. It's not only talking here, talking, and wow, okay. What is this about? Okay, we're going to show you different type of project that we have been doing with our students. Remember that we just have 19 days with our students. We have new students every 19 days. So it's very difficult for us to work with project-based, but we have been doing it. So if we can do it, imagine if you have a semester or if you have a complete year to work with.
So many hours.
Okay. We have, sometimes we have 1 hour a day, sometimes we have 2 hours a day. And when we're very lucky, we have 4 hours a day. Okay, there are different types of courses in there. But anyway, we we only have 19 days. So that's why they have to work at home. Because we have, for example, 3 units to complete and we have to do it. We do that and we also do this.
Okay, this sample is from a book that we follow at the Columna Americana in Cartagena. The name is Touchstone, it's book 3, and this is unit 7. Alright? And we tell the students, okay, you're going to work on something that is called my circle of friends. I even tell my students, do it like a Facebook page or something like that. But sometimes, don't narrow it down for the students. Let them come with whatever things they have in mind. Because when you tell them, it has to be a PowerPoint presentation. You know what you're doing? Little Johnny has a better idea. Okay, I want to do something with Windows Movie Maker. And I'm going to interview my friends. And they're going to introduce themselves. Okay? Don't limit their imagination. And sometimes they can be better than you.
The grammar here that we are, the grammar that the book suggests here is relative clauses. Okay?
We want to show you that. So this is the first page to start unit 7. And these are the language objectives the students should acquire or should master at the end of the unit. Sometimes we measure that knowledge in a written text. Not a good idea. Right? So, we're going to show you the book. And this is actually the lesson. Circle of friends, the guy is Christopher Owen, and they are using here relative clauses because they're describing the friends. Okay? So they're saying who they are and how they met and stuff. It's actually what we do on Facebook. And this is the grammar focus for the lesson. Right here. So instead of being a boring class that day, the students are going to be happy. Oh, my teacher is finally going to meet who my friends are. Isn't that wonderful? All right. Okay, this is another one. That one was related to technology. Believe me, sometimes you're going to be amazed by the knowledge your students have on technology. Sometimes they can do things you can't imagine. You just don't fit in your mind. Take a look at this. It was one of my students in a super intensive class. He even imagined the name, the Colombo Reporter.
This student has like an A2 level, so that you have like an idea. That's A2. Look what they can produce.
We're not going to show you just the best. We're going to show you a range from something regular to something really amazing. And you say, wow, they can really do stuff. Okay? We're not just showing you the really good things just to make you believe that it's the best. No. It ranges from something good to something really extremely good. Alright?
Remember that it's not only presenting this, that they have to come and they have to talk to their class in English and say, okay, this is my project, I did this. And they also have to talk about the process. Okay, we had difficulties with this. Sometimes we didn't find the person to talk to because sometimes they have to go and talk to foreigners. It's very easy for us in Cartagena because we tell them go to the Centro Histórico, get a gringo and talk to them. And sometimes they record the gringo, so that's easy. We have that. That's very nice. That's fantastic.
Look, I'm not familiar with this software, and these students actually came with this, and I felt so. I just can't tell you how I felt that day. When I saw that, I said, oh my goodness, if I can do this in my classes every day, they're gonna love me forever. Isn't that wonderful what they can do? They can do a lot. And that one is on PowerPoint. What happened to the other project? Okay. Let their imagination.
Look at this. In the language, Wi-Fi networks also allow facilitates. Okay? That's okay. That's okay. That's part of the process. Okay? They're learning.
It's not going to be perfect. Now, if you are going to put so much emphasis on grammar, they are going to retrieve your students from actually producing something in English. What am I going to do it? He's going to be grading my grammar and my grammar sucks. Don't do it. Alright? Did you make mistakes when you were learning English? I remember. One of my first biggest mistakes was, do you can da 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 da? Oh my goodness. And I mean, I did it. So you can actually ask your students to do 1,000 stuff. I remember I had a student in this class. She did when I said, okay, you have to videotape something, and it has to be like a soap opera, like a telenovela, all right? And she said, teacher, but I don't know how to actually work with this Windows Movie Maker. And by the end, she came to me and she said, teacher, you know what? I really thank you because I didn't know how to use these programs, and now I do. Sometimes students can't produce, their projects because the excuse is, I don't know how to use this technology. But at the end, they're going to use it.